Hi everyone, this is Sabrina. I'm here with a project share. There are a lot of things that are my favorites, but I think second to tags are envelopes. I like making envelopes because to me envelopes are one of those paper crafts that kind of let the paper do the work. And what I mean by that is that, you know, especially when you have really pretty paper, making an envelope making the envelope, it showcases the paper. So I made these using my 123 punch board, and these envelope punch boards, I love these punch boards. To me, whether you're a seasoned crafter with lots of experience or a beginning crafter, these the envelope punch boards and the 123 punch board, these are awesome tools to have because for me, I use them over and over and over again. So I used the punch board. I made some of these shakers in a fall swap. I was in a fall swap with Ebony, who is sharing more, and TYS Creates, and I made some of these envelope shakers using a different shape. And that's another cool thing about making these, because you can cut out whatever shape you want, and it's super easy because the actual shaker is on top of the envelope. It goes on top. So for me, it just makes it easier. I love to make shakers and I kind of shy away from making them just because it becomes too cumbersome for me. So I like doing these because I can put the shaker right on top of the envelope. All I did was I took my paper, and again I used the punch board, so whatever size envelope you're making, you cut the paper to size and you follow the directions. You follow the directions on the punch board. So I made my envelope using the punch board, and then I measure the size of the envelope, and I cut two more papers, one of the same pattern of this paper, and then another with white paper. And I was watching, what is her name? Her name is Olga. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name the right way. Her name is Olga Directorenko, and she made these little snow globe shaker tags. So that's where I got the idea to try to duplicate, like making the shape a little snow globe. And I'll link her her video. I'll put the link to her video in the description box below. So I made the envelope, and then I have another sheet of paper cut down just smaller than the area of the front of the envelope, and then another white plain piece of paper. For me, I kind of, initially, I was cutting just maybe an eighth shorter than the area of the front of the envelope, but because of my big shot, I can only fit a piece of paper as wide as, I think it's 6 1/4 for me. So I have to cut down small enough to fit through my big shot for when I'm cutting out the shape of the paper, the shape of the die on the top piece that's going to go on the top of this envelope. So I cut that out, and then this idea, this is a page out of I was going to say Created to Create, which she is Created to Create, Ida Martinez. I took a page out of the book of Ida Martinez, and she did a while back the what was it, Teacup? She did a 3-part series on a teacup shaker, and this is where I saw her. I don't know if you can see, but there is a piece of acetate already in there, but she sandwiches the acetate between the two sheets of paper. Again, I already said that I kind of shy away from shakers, so if I can find anything that makes it easier for me to make a shaker, and this works, in my opinion, this really works. So you cut out your shape, and you cut it out of both pieces of paper, your top piece and the piece that's going to sandwich the acetate in between. And then, you know, I laid down there. I've done this one already because I started this project already. I laid down the acetate. I used double-sided tape, and then I put some more double-sided tape, and then I'll use my my art glitter glue just because I'm extra and I like to make sure that that when I adhere this other piece of paper on top, that is completely adhered, because then that acetate is sandwiched between the two pieces of paper. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to move. And for me, it's easier for me to put the foam tape that I'm using and to adhere paper to paper. And it seems like a little thing. It really is a small little thing, but for me, I just found that it makes it so much easier. I don't have to worry about the acetate. You hear me say it over and over again, I have issues with glue, so I don't get glue everywhere peeking out. And this right here, this is like one of those little hacks that I think is awesome. So you sandwich the acetate between the two pieces of paper, and then what I did, and I'll go over these in a second. What I did was the shape that I cut out, which in this instance was a circle. Hope that you can see. Let me try to move this a little bit. Okay, so I take that shape and make sure that it's lined up, you know, exactly where it was cut out from. Then I position my paper wherever I try to position it on the envelope where I'm going to adhere it down. I'll put little markings at the top with a pencil. But what I do is I take this top part off, and then I adhere that circle down. I adhere that down to the top of the envelope. And I do that because it kind of gives an illusion of even more dimension. So I adhere that down, and then I do whatever stamping, or if I'm going to adhere like a die cut, whatever I'm going to do to that circle after I adhere it down to the envelope, I do my stamping and whatever I'm going to add there, and then I just pour the my shaker mix on top, and then I adhere this top paper on top. And so that's what I did here. Of course, afterwards it's all about your embellishments and however you choose to embellish. So I cut the circle out, and then I had these little, I have a actual shaker die, but I wanted to try it with the circle because a lot of times people have more access just to the regular shape, and I just wanted to try it that way to see if it worked. So I cut out the base of the snow globe die that I have. I had stamped on it, and there you have the little shaker snow globe. Then I cut out borders to kind of cover up, you know, the top and the bottom of the paper. And I added embellishments. These are those, I forget the name of it, Paper Studio, the Hobby Lobby flowers. I used the Tonic Studio die and cut out a heart. This heart is actually from that trim. Do I have some? I know I just got some. The Hobby Lobby trim. And I just cut those hearts apart. And then I made this little embellishment using snowflakes, the wooden heart, and some bling, and then added a gem. And these are really super easy to make. And I think they just come out so beautiful. Like I said, the paper, to me, the paper does the work for me. Then I did this one here. This is that sugar blush paper from Michael's that my friend Tanya had sent me. And I just did the same thing with the borders and the flowers and the little embellishments. And then, of course, as I'm doing that, then you kind of get ideas. So I went a little bit bananas on this one, and I added some more glittered cutouts, die cuts, and another sprig of leaves. I just added a little bit more. I kind of like this one because it added to it. And I made these specifically to put a, a 6x6 pad of paper into the envelope. So you can make them whatever, whatever size you want. It's really just a matter of measuring your front and then cutting out an additional piece of paper of the same pattern, and then using the cutout of the die on the bottom of it to add to the illusion of dimension to the shaker. So that's my little share for today. I hope you guys are inspired. I hope you're having a great day. God bless, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.